Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, still a while, for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with my historical challenge using the Tampa Bay Lightning. Alright, so November was not that kind to us. We have a very dreadful record. I was expecting to maybe be doing a little bit better than that by now. Not by all that much, though. We do not have a powerhouse of a team or anything like that. For this month, I decided to keep my lines and tactics intact. My reasoning behind that is, first of all, Bobby Olick slid in pretty well in the lineup, and he's been doing pretty good so far. Definitely gave us a little bit of a talent injection in the lineup, even though he's not fully developed and everything. Definitely better than some other players that I had. The other thing here is that despite our record, we've been doing better in November as far as staying in games and everything. We didn't get clobbered all that much. It happened a few times, but not that much, and we managed to score some goals and everything, so I think that my tactics are kind of working. I just don't think I have the personnel right now. I am severely lacking goal scorers. I have mentioned that already. Let me know what you think. What should I go after? Should I go after maybe better defense, better goaltending? We could definitely use better goaltending as well. Goaltending, defense, I mean, we could get an upgrade pretty much everywhere. Just let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. Of course, try to be reasonable. Don't tell me to trade for Mario Lemieux. That's, I'm not gonna be able to do that, but anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Looks like December is gonna be busy as well, although we do have a little bit of a break here at the start of the month. We have 4 days off here before we play against the Wings, so we're gonna go ahead and get underway. My videos tend to be long now, so I need to kind of shut it down a little bit. Alright, so suspension for Los Angeles, Marty Mcsorley. He is going to miss 6 games. No additional missed time for New Jersey's Bruce driver, so he was also looked at, but no suspension for him. And Scott Stevens is hurt in New Jersey in that same game, but it's a day-to-day injury, so that shouldn't be too bad. He's going to be out for 6 days with a shoulder soreness. For a long-term perspective, Takeshi Okubo is very unhappy about your work. Oh, that changed fast, huh? Alright. So he was pretty happy with me after a month, and now he's like, no, wait, we didn't win 10 games in November. I'm pretty upset. I don't blame him. We won 1 game in November. It's been pretty tough. So Murray Barron and, is it Daryl or Darren Shannon? Daryl Shannon available. Murray Barron is also available. I'm gonna pass. They're not big enough of an upgrade for me to really go and take on the extra salary. Frederick Lawson has a strong game for Winnipeg. He had 4 assists against the Flames. Memorable game for Teemu Selanne. In that same game, he had 3 goals and 2 assists. And with that was 8 straight games with a goal for Teemu Selanne. Zino Cicarelli extends his point streak to 15 games. He had 2 assists against the Rangers. Vyacheslav Kozlov extends his goal streak to 5 in that same game. He had a goal. And that was 12 straight games with a point as well. And still in that same game, Steve Yzerman extended his point streak to 14 games. He did get an assist. Alright, so those players are getting used to the team. Alright, so Doug Crossman should be healthier soon, thankfully. Pretty much our best defenseman. Alright, let's continue to sim here. Zino Cicarelli extends his point streak to 16 games. He got an assist against Minnesota. However, Vyacheslav Kozlov's point streak ended at 12 games, and that game didn't get a point. Steve Yzerman did get a hat trick in that game, so that's pretty good, and that was 15 straight games with a point. And Daryl Shannon was claimed by the Capitals. Alright, so Daryl Shannon now a member of Washington. Not sure why the Leafs waived him. Look at that, he had 7 points in 10 games. That's not bad at all. And Crossman is back. Now keep in mind, if you're not super familiar with hockey or anything like that, or you're really more familiar with 2020 type of scoring, you're probably looking at the scores and you're like, man, there's a lot of goals scored. Keep in mind, I'm playing in 1992. The game was a lot more open back then. A lot more goals were scored. We should be starting to see a decline in high scoring around 95 or 96-ish. That should start to go down by then. And then, by the end of this series, we're going to be a little bit closer to scores that we're used to by now. But it was just a different era. There was just more goals scored. A 8-4 game was a lot more common back then than it is today. So I just wanted to point it out for those of you who are not necessarily big hockey buffs. Pat LaFontaine extends his goal streak to 7 games. He had 2 goals and an assist against the Islanders. And Brett Hull extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had 2 goals against the Flames. Alright, so we are about to play the Detroit Red Wings. So Detroit is really, really, really strong. They are 22-5-1, and we are going to be hosting them here. They are first in the Campbell Conference, and we are 0-2 against the Wings. Now, the one thing I do want to point out about it is that while we haven't won against the Wings, we kind of managed to contain them pretty good, considering that they're so good. We allowed 4 and 3 goals, so sure, I would prefer to win, but Detroit's a powerhouse, and not allowing that many goals against them is pretty good. Alright, we're going to have Wendell Young here in net, and finally, my players are 100%. We had a few days off and whatnot, so that's going to feel good here. So let's host the Wings and hope for the best. Alright. So the Wings are going to go ahead and send Tim Shelday in net, and we are going to go with Wendell Young. Go, Lightning, go. This game's going to be tough. That's the second month in a row we're starting against a really strong team. We started against Pittsburgh in the previous video. Oh, it was a little bit tougher this time. We lost 6-2 against the Wings. So yeah, not a whole lot to say. Detroit clobbered us in shots, 61-22. Yikes. Dino Ciccarelli was the first star of the game. He had 3 goals and 2 assists. Steve Yzerman was the second star with 2 goals and 3 assists. And Mark Howe was the third star with 2 assists. We had 9,766 people in attendance for this game. So Detroit took a 3-0 lead into the first period. So that was that. And then they scored twice in the second period, and then Mike Hartman scored short-handed from Rob Ramage and Rob Zamuner. It was 5-1 Detroit at that point, and then Detroit added another goal before the end of the period with 11 seconds left to go, and it was 6-1 Detroit after 2. Then in the third period, Mike Hartman scored his second goal of the game, assisted by Danton Cole. It was 6-2, but that was way too little, way too late, and we lost by 4-6-2 against Detroit here in December of 1992. Oh, Mark Bergevin is hurt, but he's only day-to-day, and he can play, so I'm not sure that I'm going to do anything about it. We'll see. Alright, so lots of news. A night to remember for Dino Ciccarelli. As we saw, he got 3 goals and 2 assists against us, and that was 17 straight games with a point. 8 straight games with an assist as well. Steve Yzerman, with his 2 goals and 3 assists, extended his point streak to 16 games. So we were not able to stop the Red Wings. Brett Hull extends his goal streak to 6 games. He did get 1 tally against Edmonton. Bob Carpenter has reached 600 points in his career with an assist against the Islanders. So Bob Carpenter, 29 years old and a 2.5-star player. There was no stopping Eric Lindros with the Flyers. He had a hat-trick against the Senators. Dan Quinn has reached 600 points in his career as well, playing for Minnesota. He got an assist against Quebec. 27 years old Dan Quinn, 2.5-star player. Teemu Selanne extends his goal streak to 9 games with 2 goals and an assist against Montreal. And that was 12 straight games with a point as well for him. And in that same game, Alexei Zamnov extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal and an assist in that game. Alright, lots of stuff going on here. Alright, so we are going to be playing in a couple of days at home again, and then we're going to play a home and home against the Rangers. Oh yeah, I want to check Marc Bergevin. Where does that say here? Medium facial cut. Oh yeah, you can go and play with a scar in your face. You're going to instill fear. Great night for Pat LaFontaine, who had 4 assists against the Devils. Great night for Brian Leach, who had also 4 assists, except against the Leafs. And good game for Pele Eklund, who had a hat-trick against the Bruins. Alright, we are ready to face the Islanders. Islanders right now are 14, 10, and 2. And we are 0-1 against the Islanders this season. Let's see if we can beat them now that we're going to be on home ice. Alright, so Glenn Healy is going to be in net for the Islanders. We are going to go with Wendell Young. And we lost 6-1, so we're still struggling. The Islanders outshot us 39-20. Ian Fraser was the first star of the game for the Islanders. He had 2 assists. Wayne McBean was the second star with 2 goals, and Brad Dalgarno was the third star with 2 assists. We had 9,215 people in attendance for this game. So the Islanders scored twice in the first period, and they were up 2-0 after 1. And then in the second period, they scored a third goal, so it was 3-0 at that point, and then we scored our lone goal. It was Ken Hodge from Adam Creighton and Chris Kontos. 3-1 Islanders at that point. Then the Islanders scored 2 more goals. It was 5-1 after 2. They added 1 more in the third period just to, you know, hurt us even more in our pride, and we lost 6-1. Alright, we need to get some wins. Joe Rickey is hurt, so I might need to put Karpovtsev in. He's day today, so that shouldn't be too bad. Okay, Robin Bawa, not picking him up. Scott Bustad, Brian Mullen, and Grant Jennings. Yeah, I'm not gonna pick any of those guys up. Oh, Gary Roberts is hurt in Calgary. Oh, 7 months. Your season's over, buddy. Broken bone in the elbow. That's not gonna help the Flames there. So the Flames are kind of, you know, just a little bit above 500. They do need Gary Roberts, but he's done for the season. Sylvain Turgeon extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal and an assist against Washington for Ottawa. Good game for Pat LaFontaine again. He had a hat-trick against the Quebec Nordiques. Oh, Nelson Emerson is also injured with a fractured fibula. 3 months out. So Nelson Emerson is a decent little player in St. Louis. I'm sure they're going to miss him. They're playing for 500, so 2 teams playing right at 500 or right around 500 have lost decent players, so that could affect their participation or non-participation in the playoffs. Brett Hull extends his goal streak to 7 games, 2 goals and an assist against the Canucks in that same game. And speaking of the Blues, Rich Sutter has served his suspension and he will be back in the lineup. All right, let's take a look at the Joe Rickey situation here. All right, he's just day-to-day, so I'm going to scratch him and put Karpovtsev in, so you know what that means. I'm just going to pause real quick, make the few changes, and I will be right back. All right, and we are back. So I kept Karpovtsev as a mobile defenseman. Hopefully he's going to be able to generate a little bit of offense. I need a little bit of that. Lots of news again. Michel Goulet has recorded 1,000 games played in his career. Didn't get a point to celebrate that, so that happened against the Red Wings. 32 years old, Michel Goulet, still a 2.5-star player. Dino Ciccarelli extends his point streak to 18 games. In that same game against the Blackhawks, he got a goal and an assist. And that was 9 straight games with an assist for him. And in that same game, Steve Yzerman extended his point streak to 17 games with 2 assists. Ooh, look at that. Wayne Gretzky got suspended. He's going to miss 2 games. So the league put up their pants and they decided to lay down the law on the great Wayne Gretzky. No one could stop Mike Donnelly in that same game. He had 3 goals and 2 assists against Montreal. Mario Lemieux extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had 2 goals and an assist. Teemu Selanne extends his goal streak to 10 games. He had 2 goals and an assist as well against Pittsburgh in that same game. And that was 13 straight games for Selanne with a point. Alright, so we are playing at home, on the road against the Rangers. Rangers are 15-10-2. They are pretty good, and we did lose the only game we played against them this season. Let's see what's going to happen now. Wendell Young is going to be in net for us, and John Van Beesbrook is going to be in net for the Rangers. Come on, Lightning. We need a win here. Give us a W. And we lost 4-2. Alright. We were outshot 48-22 in that game. Brian Leach was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Adam Creighton was the second star with a goal. And Mark Messier was the third star with 2 goals. So we scored first in the first period. Rob DiMaio scored on the power play from Doug Crossman and Bobby Ellick, but the Rangers scored 4 seconds later to tie the game. It was tied at 1 after 1. Then in the second period, we took the lead again. Adam Creighton scored from Ken Hodge, but then about 3 minutes later, the Rangers tied the game again. So it was tied at 2 after 2. So we were, right there with the Rangers going into the third period, but then we allowed 2 goals in the third, and we lost 4-2. So, yeah, we're going to need to improve the thing. Oh, dear God, Roman Amerlik is hurt as well, so now I have to call somebody back up. Alright, let's continue, and we are going to figure this out here. Alright, so Roman Amerlik is going to go on the injured reserve. Pat LaFontaine set everything up tonight. He had a goal and 4 assists against Boston. Sylvain Turgeon extends his goal streak to 6 games. He had a goal against the Waiters. Dino Ciccarelli's point streak ended at 18 games. He was held scoreless against Toronto. And assist streak ended at 9 games, of course. And Steve Yzerman extends his point streak to 18 games. He did get an assist in that game, so his streak continues, but Ciccarelli's ends. Alright, we are going to need to put Amerlik on the injured reserve. And from here, I'm going to pause yet again, and we will be right back once I figure things out. Alright, so I decided to recall Kevin Lowe. He was picked for me by the computer. I kind of made a mistake during that waiver draft because it was new, so I didn't really know how to handle it. So I've set him as an old school defenseman, and hopefully he helps stabilize our defense a little bit. He's not going to be providing a whole lot of offense, at least I don't expect him to, and neither should you. Alright, so we are going to advance again, and now we're going to play this second of the home and home against the Rangers. Who is that? Rick Lessard again, and oh, Jeff Hackett has been put on waivers. I'm going to pick him up. Alright. Brettel extends his goal streak to 8 games. He had 2 goals against San Jose. And Marc Bergevin is feeling better, so that's good. At least he's not going to be playing hurt anymore. Now, I have... Yeah, I don't have Jeff Hackett yet, but once I do, Pat Jablonski's going to get in the minors, and I'm going to have a little bit of a better, not great, but at least a little bit of a better backup than I do now. And he gets to play tomorrow because I have 2 games in 2 nights. Alright, so we're playing the Rangers again. They are now 16-10-2. We are terrible, we are 0-2 against the Rangers so far this season, obviously. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what happens here. Mike Richter is going to be in net for the Rangers. We are going to go with Wendell Young. Oh, close one, but we lost. We lost 3-2. So we keep losing, but we're in games a lot of the times. Look at that. We outshot the Rangers 31-25. Mark Messier was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Mikael Anderson was the second star with a goal and an assist. And is it Per and Anderson? What's his name? He has an assist. Where is he? Peter Anderson. There you go. Sorry about that. 8,787 people in attendance for this game. The Rangers scored twice in the first period and early. It was 2-0 after 2:31 in the first period. But then we tied the game. Danton Cole scored from Mikael Anderson and Sean Chambers. And then Mikael Anderson from Danton Cole and Kevin Lowe. Look at that. I said to not expect any offense from him, and look at him picking up an assist. Nobody scored in the second period, and then in the third period, the Rangers scored the game winner. It was Jeff Bucheboom, also not very known for his offense. And then, yeah, that bunch of penalties in the third period, but that was it. Alright, so we lost 3-2 this one. Alright, no additional missed time for Philadelphia's Hines, so guard Hines is not suspended with the Flyers. John Ogrodnik has tallied 400 goals in his career with a goal against the Flyers in that same game. So 400 goals, 33 years old, 2-star player. Steve Yzerman extends his point streak to 19 games in that game against the Flyers. He did pick up an assist. Claude Lemieux is suspended in New Jersey. He's going to miss 7 games. Teemu Selanne extends his goal streak to 11 games with 2 goals against Washington. And that was 14 straight games with a point for him. And Zamnov extends his goal streak to 6 games in that same game. He did get a goal. And we picked up Jeff Hackett from waivers from San Jose. Alright, so that means that Pat Jablonski is going to Atlanta. Thank you for your services. Jeff Hackett is going to get dressed. And he's also getting the start today at home against Edmonton. There you go. Let's see if things go better for us with a different goaltender in net. So that's going to be 2 games in 2 nights. Let's see. We are about to face the Oilers. They are 13-16-1. That's good for 10th in the Campbell Conference. Edmonton is one of the rare teams against whom we've done pretty good. We are 1-0-1 against them this season. So let's see if we can beat the Oilers. Alright, so Bill Ranford is going to be in net for Edmonton, and we are going to go with Jeff Hackett. Recently acquired Jeff Hackett, should I say. And we won 3-2. Look at that. It's the magic of the new goaltender. Jeff Hackett is now my number one. Wendell Young is never playing again. Okay, I'm just joking. I'm still going to go with Wendell Young, but if Jeff Hackett continues to win, I might switch who my starter is. Alright, so we did outshoot Edmonton 34-27 in that game, in that 3-2 win. Rob Zamuner was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Brent Gilchrist was the second star with a goal, and Doug Crossman was the third star with an assist. 9,452 people in attendance for this game. So the Oilers scored first in the first period, and they were up 1-0 after 1. And then we scored in the second period, so Rob Zamuner scored from Alexander Karpovtsev, and then Mikael Anderson scored from Rob Zamuner. It was 2-1 Tampa Bay after 2. And then we traded goals in the third period. Mark Bergevin scored shorthanded from Adam Creighton and Doug Crossman. And then the Oilers scored with 2:04 left to go in the period. And then we held on at the end of the game and got ourselves a 3-2 win. 4th win of the season on December 12th. It's a little sad. It's getting, if you followed my Franchise Hockey Manager 6 series, it's getting to the point of the Carolina Hurricanes were at one point in my long playthrough. Alright, no additional missed time for Buffalo's Bloomberg, so Jeff Bloomberg not suspended in Buffalo. Wayne Gretzky is going to be back in the lineup after serving his suspension. And Teemu Selänne's point streak ended at 14 games. The Islanders were able to contain him. Alright, so we have a few days off here. I'm gonna go ahead and put Wendell Young back in. Alright, so we're playing 2 more games in 2 days here. So Wendell Young is gonna get the start against the Kings, and then Jeff Hackett is gonna play against his former team. There you go. Oh, and I got a trade proposal. I love those. Alright, so suspension for Cliff Running in Vancouver. He's going to miss 1 game, and the Blues are offering me Vitaly Karamnov for Ken Hodge. I don't think so. Yeah, sorry. We're not going to do that. That was not an interesting trade. Alright, one more here before we play against the Kings. Mark Howe has reached 500 assists in his career. He got an assist against the Flames. And Mark Howe is 37 years old, and he's still a 3-star player, so still decent. Steve Yzerman extends his point streak to 20 games. In that game, he got a goal against the Flames. 20 straight games with a point. That's pretty good. Joe Rickey ready for contact. Well, we would hope so, eventually. Alright, so we are about to play the Kings. We did not play the Kings so far this season. And the Kings are 14-15-2. So in real life, the Kings in that season made it to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Montreal Canadiens, but they're struggling a little bit on their record here, and they made that trade with Vancouver too. They traded for Pavel Bure. They traded Luc Robitaille. So let's see. Oh, there's some injuries here. Oh yeah, that might be that might explain some things here. There's quite a few injuries. So Kelly Rudy is hurt. Alexis Zinnik and Charlie Huddy are also hurt and not gonna play this game. And then Marty Mcsorley is still suspended. Derek Plant is hurt, and he's not gonna play. Pavel Bure is hurt, but he might play. So yeah, lots of different things going on here. Oh, and Pavel Bure has been really good since joining the Kings. He has 17 points in 10 games, so the bad record is not his fault. So David Delfino is in net with Brian Hayward. So not great goaltending, especially with Kelly Rudy out. Peta Ola, Paul Coffey, Curran Sidor, Thompson, Blake, Mcsorley on the There's a few O's there. Pat Conacher, Donnelly, Granato, Reichel, Couturier, Wayne Gretzky back after serving a suspension. Too bad he wasn't still suspended. Did I say Sean Couturier? That's completely the wrong era. Sylvain Couturier, sorry. Wayne Gretzky has 58 points. And so yeah, they still have a decent team, but you know, I'm looking at the goaltending here and a few O's on D, and who knows? Who knows? Alright, so playing in LA, we are sending Wendell Young, and we are going to be playing against David Delfino. We lost 5-3, so we did manage to score 3 goals, but we just couldn't contain the Kings. Alright, so the Kings outshot us 38-33 in that game. Paul Coffey was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Rob Ramage was the second star with 2 assists, and Bob Kudelski was the third star with a goal and an assist. Alright, so the Kings scored twice in the first period, and they were up 2-0 after 1. Then they scored again in the second period, made it 3-0, and then we scored twice. Ken Hodge scored from Chris Kontos and Rob Ramage, and then Danton Cole scored on the power play from Alexander Karpovtsev and Rob Zamuner. It was 3-2 Kings after 2. Then at the start of the third period, the Kings scored, made it 4-2. Then we came back to within 1 with Brent Gretzky scoring on the power play from Tim Berglund and Rob Ramage. But then the Kings scored again late in the third period, made it 5-3, and we just couldn't come back to that. Oh God, look at the Kings there. They're waving both of the goaltenders that they had on the lineup just a second ago. Mcsorley's suspensions and... Alright, sorry, I had to pause the game real quick, so I'm not sure if I said this or not. Marty Mcsorley's suspension is over, so he is back in the lineup. Steve Yzerman got hurt, but he's going to be day-to-day. So he shouldn't be out for very long. Good news for the Red Wings. However, his point streak ended at 20 games. Zygmunt Palffy extends his goal streak to 5 games with the Islanders. He got a goal against the Blues. Peter Stastny has reached 1,200 points in his career with an assist against Winnipeg. So Peter Stastny, 36 years old, 2-star player. Nickel and the Kings agreed to move on from each other. So Rick Nickel, his contract has been bought out. So far it has only happened with goaltenders. I don't know if that's always the case or if it's just, you know, how it's happening right now. Alright, so we're putting Jeff Hackett back in net. He got us a W last time he played, and now he's going to play against his former team, which is the San Jose Sharks. They are 8-21-1 so far this season. They are 11th in the Campbell Conference, and we are 0-1 against San Jose. If you remember, that was our first 2D action, and it ended 0-0. So let's see if some goals get scored this time around. Alright, so Jeff Hackett in net for us, still wearing his Sharks jersey, and then Arthur's Earbay is going to be in net for the Sharks. We lost 5-2, so could not get another W here. The Sharks outshot us 36-33. Tim Sweeney was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Doug Wilson was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Neil Wilkinson was the third star with an assist. Right, so the Sharks scored first in the first period, and then Bobby Olick, finally, we're seeing his name again, scored his 5th of the season from Rob Zamuner to tie the game. It was tied at 1 after 1. Then Mike Hartman scored his 5th from Tim Berglund and Brent Gretzky, and it was 2-1 Tampa Bay at that point in the second period. But then San Jose tied the game, and it was tied at 2 after 2. Then a bunch of penalties in the second period as well. And then in the third period, San Jose scored 3 unanswered goals, and they ran away with the game, and we lost again. Alright, so... Jason Moore got suspended in San Jose during that game. He's going to miss 3 games. Cliff Running is already back from suspension in Vancouver, and Joe Rickey might be coming back real soon. Right, let's go ahead and put Wendell Young back in net. We don't have a clear starter right now. We are having problems winning games. Alright, and now New Jersey is going to be in town, and that's going to be the first time we play them. Zygmunt Palffy extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal against the Suns. Memorable night for Mario Lemieux. He had 4 assists against the Flyers. Mike Hoff in Quebec is suspended. He's going to miss 5 games. And then a strong night for Mark Messier. He had a hat-trick against the Blues. Alright, so the Devils are in town. Devils are not doing all that great. They are 10-19-1. First time we're facing them. Now, of course, I don't think they're going to have Martin Brodeur just yet. They do, but he's not fully developed. He's 20, and he's a 2.5 star goaltender right now. So it's Brodeur and Terry in net, and then, let's see here. So Alexander Semak is hurt. He's not going to play, and Scott Niedermayer is hurt. He may or may not play, and then Claude Lemieux is still suspended. Alright, so of course, Scott Stevens is always a threat. Not a great offense here in New Jersey when I'm looking at that. Hopefully we can contain them because their offense doesn't scare me all that much. Alright, let's see what happens here. So Martin Brodeur is going to be in net for the Devils. We are going with Wendell Young. And we won 5-2 victory against Martin Brodeur and the Devils. Look at us. We have already doubled the number of wins we got in November with our second win here in December. Alright, so a 5-2 victory. Pretty convincing win. We were outshot 32-29. Brian Bradley was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Danton Cole was the second star of the game with 2 goals. And Mikael Anderson was the third star with 2 assists. 9,646 people in attendance for us in this game. New Jersey scored first, and then we scored 4 unanswered goals in the first period. So it started with Chris Conto scoring his 5th from Doug Crossman and Ken Hodge, and then Danton Cole scored his 5th as well from Mikael Anderson and Brian Bradley. Alexander Karpovtsev scored from Brian Bradley, and then Chris Contos from Ken Hodge and Mark Bergevin. It was 4-1 Tampa Bay after 1. Then Danton Cole scored in the second period from Mikael Anderson and Brian Bradley. It was 5-1 at that point. The Devils did score a power play goal in the third period, but that was it. And there was a fight between Kevin Lowe and Peter Stastny in the third period. Alright. Look at us. We won a game. Feels good. We're not used to winning. Doug Wilson has arrived at 1,000 games in his career, playing for San Jose. That happened against the Canucks. And he got an assist to celebrate that. Doug Wilson, 35 years old, 2-star player. And Greg Adams, in that same game, had a good game. He stole the show with a hat-trick. Alright, so Brian Kern is available. Oh boy, yeah. Not picking this guy up. A strong game for Dino Ciccarelli, who had a hat-trick against the Minnesota North Stars. Memorable night for Mark Recchi. He had 3 goals against the Blackhawks. No further punishment for Trevor Linden, not suspended. No additional missed time for St. Louis Rich Sutter, so he got suspended earlier this year, but not this time. However, his brother Ron got suspended. He's going to miss 5 games. Brett Hull extends his point streak to 12 games. He had 2 assists against the Jets. Dressing room shenanigans may cost San Jose players. So San Jose teammates Pat Falloon and Johan Garpenlov are in hot water with head coach George Kingston for a series of pranks aimed at other teammates and at one another. These guys are adults, said the Sharks boss. And they're supposed to be professionals. Why they're acting like a couple of clowns is beyond me. According to Kingston, both players will be fined if the behavior continues. Falloon, however, doesn't understand why his head coach is getting all worked up. We're just having a little fun blowing off some steam. He doesn't need to call us out in public, and finding us would be taking it way too far. Garpenlov was slightly more diplomatic. It's embarrassing to be singled out like that. I guess I need to take things a little more seriously from now on. Alright, so with that being said, we are about to host the Philadelphia Flyers. It's going to be the first time we play them this season. Flyers are not doing all that hot. They are 10-17-4. Oh, there's some injuries here too. Alright, so Rod Brind'Amour is hurt. He's not going to play that game. And neither are Dmitry Yushkevich and Mark Peterson. So they are both hurt as well. So in net, it's Stefan Boragog and I think it's Peter Briza. Yeah, Peter Briza. And wow. Brian Benning, Terry Karkner, Gary Galley, Greg Hines, Mo Manta, Rick Natras, Yushkevich, Andy, Doug Evans, Lomakin, Peterson, Eklund, Johnson, Casper, Lindros, Butsayev, Fidik, McDermott, Paslowski, Ricky, Renberg, and Kevin Deneen. So there's definitely a few decent players on that team, but there's a few holes as well. So who knows? Maybe we might win this game as well. Alright, so the Flyers are going to go ahead and send Peter Briza in net, and we're going to go with Wendell Young. Come on, Wendell, get us a W. Oh ho ho, it's another win. We have an official winning streak of 2 right now. Believe it or not. We have won 2 games in a row. We won 4-1 against the Flyers here. Oh, and we really outshot them 45-29. Sean Chambers is the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Brian Bradley was the second star with 2 goals. And Mikael Anderson was the third star with an assist. 8,439 people were there in the arena to witness this incredible feat of 2 victories in a row. Alright, so Philadelphia scored first in the first period. They were up 1-0 after 1, and then we scored 3 goals in the second period. Bobby Olick scored on the power play from Sean Chambers. Then Brian Bradley scored his 5th from Doug Crossman and Alexander Karpovtsov. Then Tim Berglund from Sean Chambers and Mike Hartman. It was 3-1, Tampa Bay after 2. Then in the third period, Brian Bradley scored on the power play from Mikael Anderson, made it 4-1, and that's how this game ended. Alright, so we won against Philly. Passes on point for Mike Modano. He had 4 assists against the Blackhawks. Alright, so we are about to play 2 games in 2 nights. So we're going to have Wendell Young against the Bruins and Jeff Hackett against the Whalers. Shane Corson is suspended. He's going to miss 6 games. Larry Murphy extends his point streak to 12 games with 2 assists against Quebec. In that same game, Rick Tocchet had a hat-trick. That's pretty good. And Jason Moore is back from suspension in San Jose. Alright, we are about to play the Bruins. Bruins are going to be a lot tougher than the Flyers and the Devils. They are 21-10-1. We have not played them this season. Alright, and they have Steve Hines that's hurt, so he's not going to play, but pretty much everybody else is in top shape. So Andy Moog and Marcus Kitterer in net. At least I think it's Marcus. Pretty sure it is. Yeah, Marcus Kitterer in net. Alright, Sweeney, Weimer, Wesley, Beers, Bork, Murphy, Shaw, and Serban are on D, of course. Ray Bork is the big guy there. Donato, Hughes, Carval, Talnov, Reach, Temple, Juno, Oates, Poulin, Ruzicka, VC, Duris, Leach, and Neely up front. I believe we played the Bruins in preseason. Alright, so, yeah. Can Wendell Young get us a third W here? Alright, so Wendell Young in net for us. They are going with Andy Moog. We lost 6-4. Alright, the Bruins are pretty good, so that was to be expected. We did outshoot them to 36-32. So again, I don't think my tactics are all that wrong. I think we have the right idea here. We just need better players. Alright, so I think that's Jim Weimer, sorry. So he's the first star with 2 assists. Brian Bradley is the second star of the game with a goal and an assist. And Dmitry Kavartalnov is the third star with a goal and an assist. And I'm sorry if you can hear one of my cats whining in the background. So Boston scored first here in the first period, and then Brian Bradley scored on the power play from Karpovtsev and Doug Crossman. It was tied at 1 after 1. Then in the second period, the Bruins scored again, and then we tied again. It was Rob DeMaio from Rob Zamioner and Bobby Alec, tied at 2 after 2. Then there was an explosion of goals in the third period. The Bruins took the lead for the third time, and then we tied it for the third time. It was Adam Creighton from Bobby Alec and Alexander Karpovtsev, and then we took our first lead of the game with Mark Bergevin scoring from Brian Badley. We were up 4-3, but then the Bruins scored 3 times before the end of the period, and this game ended 6-4 in favor of Boston. Alright, so Corey Millen in LA is suspended. He's going to miss 4 games. Brett Hull extends his point streak to 13 games with a goal and 3 assists against Minnesota. Alright, so Roman Amerlik is going to be ready soon, and so is Joe Rickey, so they might be coming back the same day. I guess we'll see. Right, and we are going to be putting Jeff Hackett in, give a little break to Wendell Young. That's not true. We're not giving him a break. We're punishing him for not winning. There you go. You got 2 wins. You got to play. Now you lost. You sit the bench. Right, some teams will go with a system like that. I'm not exactly at that point yet, but yeah. Alright, so, we're about to play Hartford. Hey, they have a winning record. They are 18-15. Let's go ahead and take a look at... they have a lot of injuries, though. So, Sean Burke is hurt, Mark Jansen, Pat Verbeek, and Tim Kerr. Wow, look at all those players that are hurt, and most of them are pretty good, too. Alright, so in net, it's Craig Bennington and Frank Pietrangelo, Brian Glynn, Steve Conroy, Randy Ladouceur, Weinrich, Zalapsky, Peterson, Jennings, Burt, and Uda on D. So a lot of D's there. Connie Ward, Kipreos, McKenzie, Patrick Poulin, Jeff Sanderson, Murray Craven, Andrew Castles, Terry Yake, John Cullen, Mikael Nylander, Mark Gregg, and Chris Bright. You know what? I think we have a shot. I don't want to be cocky or anything, but I think that team is within reach for us. Alright, so we're going to go with Jeff Hackett. They are going with Frank Pietrangelo. Go Lightning, go. We lost 3-2. So close. And again, we outshot the opposition 28-23. Andrew Castles was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Danton Cole was the second star with a goal. And Mark Gregg was the third star with a goal and an assist. Alright, so the Whalers scored first in the first period. It was 1-0 Whalers after 1. Then they scored again in the second period, made it 2-0, and then Danton Cole scored from Mikael Anderson and Brian Bradley, and we were within 1. It was 2-1 Whalers after 2. And then we tied the game. Tim Berglund tied the game up for us from Rob Ramage and Mark Bergevin. It was tied at 2, but then Andrew Castle scored with 2:50 left to go in the third period. That was a game winner. We never tied the game, and we lost 3-2. So we were pretty much in that game until the end. All right, and now it's going to be the Christmas break. We have 7 days off, and then we play on the 31st. That's the last game of the month, so we will play it in 2D, and we are going to be playing the Blackhawks, so it's probably going to be a tough game. So let's put Wendell Young back in for that one. All right, lots of news. Red light stays on for Steve Thomas with the Islanders. He had 4 goals. In that same game, Pierre Turgeon had 4 assists. That's pretty good. Brian Leetch extends his assist streak to 8 games with an assist against the Devils. Mario Lemieux is out with a day-to-day injury, bruised ankle, should be out for about 4 days. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 12 games with 2 goals and an assist against the Flyers. Larry Murphy extends his point streak to 13 games with 3 assists in that same game. And Joe Nieuwendyk keeps fans on their feet all night. He had a hat-trick against the Jets. Alright, so we get to... Alright, so Joe Rickey is ready. I'm not going to put him just yet because I think Roman Amerlik is going to be ready to come back before we play Chicago. And if he does, I'm going to do everything all at once. Alright, so Roman Amerlik might be back for the game against the Blackhawks. And he is. Alright. Brett Hull's point streak ended at 13 games. It was held scoreless against the Blackhawks. Brian Leetch's streak ended at 8 games. He was held pointless against the Islanders. Open ice leads to a productive night for Pavel Bure of the Kings, who had 2 goals and 4 assists against the Sharks. In that same game, Paul Coffey had 4 assists. And in that same game, Wayne Gretzky had 3 goals and 2 assists. Alright, so we are ready to make modifications here to our D, so I will pause again and be right back. And we are back. Alright, so let's continue to sim until we play the Blackhawks. Alright, Larry Murphy extends his point streak to 14 games. He had an assist against Buffalo. No further discipline for Ottawa's Dominique Lavoie, not suspended. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Doug Gilmour, who had 4 assists against St. Louis. No additional missed time for Vancouver's Jim Sandlack, not suspended over there. And Luc Robitaille has recorded his 300th goal of his career in Vancouver. He got a goal against Montreal in that same game. So, 26 years old, Luc Robitaille, 4-star player. Alright, so 2 more days, and then we play the last game of the month. Great night for Brian Bellows with Montreal. He had 3 goals and 2 assists against Edmonton. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Vincent Enfous in that game. He had a goal and 4 assists. Mykoff is back from suspension in Quebec. And Claude Lemieux is finally back from suspension in New Jersey. Alright, so the December scouting update is right here. Alright, so it's pretty much the same players as usual. Alright, and then the player poll result are released. Alright, so the best skater according to the players is Pavel Bure from the Kings, hardest shot Al McInnes from the Flames, smartest Wayne Gretzky from the Kings, toughest Jay Caulfield from the Sharks, fastest Pavel Bure from the Kings, best role model Steve Yzerman from the Red Wings, cleanest Andy Brickley from the Jets, toughest goalie to beat Patrick Roy from Montreal, and finally the coach you'd most like to play for, Scotty Bowman of Pittsburgh. So a lot of Western Conference or Campbell Conference here players. So maybe a little bit of a Western domination, like I said. Oh, dear God. And we've been on the road for a couple games already, I think, haven't we? Look at that ridiculous long road trip here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games on the road in a row. Wow. Alright, so... Well, it's the last game of the month, so it's going to be a 2D game. We are playing against Chicago. We have played them twice, lost twice. They are 17, 19, and 3. That's good for 8 in the Campbell Conference. We're going to check to make sure we have Wendell Young in net. Everybody is well rested. We haven't played in a week, so let's play this game against Chicago. Alright, so we are going to go with Wendell Young. They are going to go with... Alright, I click the button. There you go. They are going with Renato Tosio. Alright, so just making sure my options are still there. They are. Alright, I'm going to be in what, white, I think? Yes, I am. Alright, let's cheer for the right team right off the bat. So that might be a tough game here. Oh, Jeremy Roenick already took a penalty, so we're going on the power play. But yeah, it might be a tough game. The Blackhawks are pretty good. Even though their record is not that great, but they are better than us for sure. Oh, I think that was a one-timer there. Oh, Mikael Anderson slashed, so... Our power play is over. 4-on-4 for 40 seconds. Alright. We have the puck. Come on, man. Hey, you're doing pretty good. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't know how we stopped that. But we did. Alright, so 20 seconds left to go for the power play for the Blackhawks. Come on, little square. That could be seen as an insult. Maybe I shouldn't say it like that. But it is technically a little square. Puck is out of play. Alright. 14:38 left to go in the first period. So no score. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Come on. Play better D. Alright, Wendell Young freezes the puck. There you go. Come on, buddy. Oh, you're not a speedster, aren't you? Oh, offside. Joe Rickey took a penalty. Alright, hooking. Why are we on the power play if Joe Rickey took a penalty and now he took a ice sticking? Okay, this is weird. And then here it says we have a 2-minute penalty to Smith for ice sticking, but they're counting Joe Rickey again. That is so weird. 5-on-3, I guess. I think I read about that bug in the on the forums. There's a bug with who it says the penalty is against. Alright, so I guess we can't really go with what we're gonna see here. Alright, power play's over. Come on, buddy. Oh. Jeremy Roenick from Steve Smith and Chris Chelios. Alright, we're down 1-0. Alright, 8:43 left to go in the first period. We're down 1-0. Come on, guys. Give us a goal. Gotta keep the viewers happy, guys. That's not what I'm talking about. All right, Jeremy Roenick scored from Brian Noonan and Milan Tichy. All right, 2-0 Blackhawks here in the first period. 7:47 left to go. Oof. And by the way, this is 1992. There shouldn't be a trapezoid behind the net. Just saying. I am not really complaining about that. I was just trying to be sarcastic. I understand that, you know, it's the first iteration of the 2D like that and everything, and it's a work in progress, so I'm not that upset about it. Like, as much as like the players not switching sides in the second period, it's a minor thing for now. I'm not that worried about that. Maybe a little bit more worried about the penalties not showing right or anything like that. That might be a little bit more pressing. Alright, so the first period is over. We are down 2-0 against the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks got 10 shots on goal. We got 3. Oh boy, we need to do better than that. Come on, guys. Come out with vengeance here. Oh, me and my stupid cursor in the middle of the screen. I apologize for that. I'm afraid that's going to be a constant problem. And Roenick just scored again. That's a hat trick. Alright, hat trick for Roenick, assisted by Steve Smith. And we are down 3-0. Alright, we are holding on the puck. Come on, guys. Just generate some offense at this point. Like a few shots would be nice. Look at the Blackhawks. We're 4 guys on 1 and we can't get the puck. Oh, we got a shot. Tosio got busy all of a sudden. Oh, breakaway. Oh, couldn't score. Oh, and he held on the puck. Alright, so that was a nice little foray there. Sadly, we didn't score. That's icing, I guess, even though the guy was already there waiting for it. Alright. No. Come on, Wendell. Continue to stop the puck. We're gonna get you a goal. Just not now. Alright, 11:34 left to go in the second period. We are down 3-0. Come on, Tampa Bay. Oh, no, that didn't go. Oh. Oh, yeah. Puck is out of play. 9:04 to go in the second. Still down 3-0. We've had a few more shots this period. Not sure what happened there. That was pretty fast. Tripping. Dirk Graham. No, it's to Gilbert, not Graham. That's crazy. It doesn't match there and there. So somebody took a penalty and somebody's going on the power play. We are. Okay. Alright, so we're on the power play. Come on, Amerdick. Get us started there. Oh. We got a shot. Not sure why that wasn't an offside, but okay. Alright, so slashing for Graham. Okay, so that now this time it matches. So it looks like we're gonna have 20 seconds of 5-on-3 here. And the Blackhawks got the puck. And get a breakaway and score. Wow, that's bad. Tony Erkis from Chris Chelios and Steve Smith, 4-0 Blackhawks. I think the penalty was expired, so it's just like a short-handed goal, not like a 3-on-5 goal. That's still embarrassing. Nope. Rob Zamuner is trying to do everything on his own, and he just can't. Not getting a whole lot of support offensively either. Alright, 5:23 to go in the second period. We are down 4-0. Yeah, not going to be a game that's going to go down in history for Tampa Bay, that's for sure. Oh, we got a shot. Look at us. Got a shot on goal. Look at that. He's waiting there for the puck, and that's an icing. It's just a visualization thing. Pretty sure that it's like the baseball game where we have to believe a little bit more what's in the text than what's going on, you know, on the screen with the little squares. At least that's the case with the baseball game. Alright, second period is over. We are down 4-0. And Joe Rickey is a -3 on for that game. Yikes. Alright, third period is on the way. We are down 4-0. We've got the Blackhawks exactly where we want them. So let's go. Let's go get the 5-4 victory here. Oh, I thought that he looked like he was gonna get separation and be able to go and get a shot, but they caught up with him. Oh, a stop by Wendell Young. Oh, that was a bad pass there. Alright, the third period is going pretty fast. 12:50 left to go. Alright. So now that we have let the Blackhawks get a false sense of confidence, we're gonna go ahead and get all of our goals here soon. Puck is out of play. 9:59 left to go in the third. Still down 4-0. Yeah, that miraculous comeback needs to start soon. Oh, we got a shot. Oh, and my cursor is in the way again. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm sorry. Puck is out of play. 7:02 left to go into the third period. 4-0 Chicago. The Blackhawks are too strong for us. Oof. Yeah, Mike Hudson scored from Michel Goulet, and it is 5-0 for the Blackhawks. 4:10 left to go in the third period. We might get shut out here. Oof. Igor Kravchuk from Adam Bennett and Steve Larmer. 6-0 with 2:58 to go. This is a game to forget. Oh boy. 7-0. So Tony Erkis from Jocelyn Lemieux and Dean McCammon. At this point, we just want the game to be over. 7-0 with 2:25 left to go. We shot wide. We had a chance to score. What are you doing? Alright, and the game is now... Oh, there's 1 second left. Alright, and the game is over. Yeah, that was a trouncing. Alright, so... yeah, we only got 12 shots on goal. That wasn't very good. So Chicago outshot us 27-12. Jeremy Roenick, of course, the first star of the game. He had a hat trick. Steve Larmer, second star, 3 assists. And Steve Smith, also 3 assists and the third star. Not a lot to report. We did not score. So that's pretty much it. Alright, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, Joe Rickey got hurt again. Okay. I'm going to take care of that here in a second. Alright, so we are Friday, January 1st, so that's where we end this. Jeremy Roenick lights the lamp. He had a hat trick against us, of course. Big game for Andrew Castles. He had 4 assists against Quebec. Strong night for Murray Craven. He had a hat-trick in that same game. Valery Kamensky extends his assist streak to 8 games with an assist. In that same game again, Owen Nolan got a hat-trick. Ross Courtnall lights the lamp for Minnesota. He had a hat-trick against the Bruins. Ulf Dallin in that same game had 4 assists. Larry Murphy of Pittsburgh got an assist against the Leafs, and that was 15 straight games with a point. Phil Housley extends his assist streak to 8 games. He had a goal and an assist against the Oilers. And Mario Lemieux and Tim Schulte are the players of the month. There we go. Right, Joe Rickey is day-to-day again, so it looks like it's just a matter of playing Karpovtsev for a few games again. I'll do that here in just a second, so let's take a look at... Well, we can look at the standings, but it doesn't look pretty. Yeah, we are in the basement, as we kind of expected. Right, and let's see... So let's take a look at our stats here. So our best test is Brian Bradley with 20 points in 31 games. Then we have Dan Tunkel with 19 and 39, 18 and 39 for Anderson, Zamiener 17, and you know, it just goes down from there. It doesn't look too pretty. I have players in the minus 20 something. But we don't have a whole lot of, you know, pure talent or anything like that on the team. And here we have the league leaders. Teemu Selanne, 42 goals already at the start of January. He is the leader, of course, in the league. Mario Lemieux has 53 assists. He is the best. And he has 87 points, which is 17 more than Selanne, Ciccarelli, and Gretzky. So Mario Lemieux is the best player in the league right now. Makes sense if you think about it. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and stop here. So as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in. And if you've liked the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.